My name is Andrew. I'm CEO at Stanfy, where we create awesome mobile apps and also software for cool new gadgets. Today I'd like to talk about the Google Glass, which I had a chance to play for a couple of weeks. And first I do want to give you a short overview of what this device is about, and as a second, my personal opinion whether it's worth buying it and what's the experience of using it. So in general, this is a pretty light thing, comfortable to wear. The frame is very flexible, so you don't need to worry much about whether you break it or not, even if you sit on it. The main part of glass is this thing at the side. It has a prism, which is generally a display, but kind of the high-tech thing, high-tech display. It has a camera in front. Camera also has a small light LED that indicates to other people whether you're shooting a movie or not, so they are not surprised seeing themselves on YouTube after that. On the side part of glass there is a touch-sensitive surface which is used to control glass. So if you tap it, the device is activated, then you can use different swipes from backward, downwards, and etc. There are a couple of different buttons. One is the quick camera button, so if you want to make photo, but actually there are too many other ways to make photo. So for my several weeks of using this device, I've almost never used this button. There are many other ways to do photo quickly. There is also a power button on the inside. Probably the most technically interesting stuff is bone conductive speaker. Well, instead of having like a conventional earplug that you put in your ear, Google decided to go a much more interesting way. So you don't need any speaker, you just put the glass on, and because it touches bone, it basically transfers the sound waves to your ear, and you have a sound. While the problem is the sound quality isn't great, and if there is a noise outside, you probably won't hear much from glass. So that's why Google anyway ships a conventional earplug with Google Glass, which is attached to this micro USB slot and just put in your ear, and it looks very nice. The same micro USB is used for charging the device and transferring photo from it. Apart from that, all the material that you record on the device is being synced automatically to Google Glass. So that's in general all about like the physical structure, a little bit about what this device can do and what it cannot do. Obviously, the most frequent use cases of it is shooting videos and photos. Very nice functionalities using as a navigation tool. I used it in my car, and it's awesome thing. If you manage to actually set the destination, then it's awesome. But the problem I found is when you're trying to pronounce correctly address, that can be a problem. Well, unless you're a native speaker and you're very good in English and Google understands you. Right. Apart from that, you can also accept and make calls. You can receive and send messages. It's like text messages, emails, and etc. When it comes to messages, if you receive one, Glass will read it loud to you. When you want to send one, you just need to tell, OK Glass, send message to whatever you want, whoever you have in your address book, and just spell out your message. That's it. The message will be sent. Pretty simple. Right, but again, that's a matter of how good is your English. If you're not a native speaker, that might be a problem. I mentioned a little bit about how you can control and interact with the device. As I said, there is a touch-sensitive surface, plus you can give voice commands, but also this device reacts to a couple of other things you can do. For example, in order to activate, because by default it's in a standby mode, in order to activate it, you can set up a head tilt, and right now it's active. I can say OK glass, and it's ready to accept my commands. Apart from that, kind of a spy thing, as you can set up an eye wink action to quickly shoot photos, so you can just wink with your eye and the photo's ready, which is pretty good, and in different conditions you don't need to touch it. Apart from all of this, probably the most awesome thing is that all the functionality of Glass can be extended with different apps, and this basically unlimits the functionality of the device. Unfortunately, right now there is not a big choice of different apps in the official store, but if you Google a little bit, you'll find a lot of apps from different developers online already. But it's still like unlimited opportunity for engineers. The good thing about apps is they also integrate with voice commands. It's not just like on a smartphone when you have the app icon on your screen when you tap, and only after that you're inside. But it also integrates into the Glass controls, and it adds voice commands, so you can actually launch this app or do some actions with this app by saying some voice commands. To summarize a little bit my experience for this week's, I would say, like, wearing it for 2 or 3 weeks that I did, I found it doesn't make, at least for me, too much sense to do it every day. But I've seen different cases when people use it quite often in their professional life. For example, for video shooting or making notes or utilizing some special apps. And I think that's probably the best thing that Glass can provide. One of the most exciting things that I saw was when doctors used it while performing some of their operation, etc. So they utilized it, and that's really awesome. Apart from that, for a general consumer, there is still a lot of things that might appear in the future and may be useful, but at this point of time, I don't see a lot of them, for wearing this device every day. But Google claims that this device will become your everyday device. Well, hopefully it will. It has a lot of undiscovered features, and definitely you should try it if you don't mind paying $1,500 for this piece of hardware. Especially if you're an engineer and you have some programming skills to write software, then go get it and give some input to the Google community. And that's it from me. Thank you.